Economically speaking, the Delta is not where it once was years ago. The Delta was once the richest part of the state, and that's the poorest part. We all relied on agriculture forever, and agriculture is what I call a mature industry. It's not really creating any more jobs. And as our economy has fallen here, I think we have just looked for ways to bring in new dollars.
We know that every town is not going to get a Nissan, a Viking Range, a Toyota plant, and so we're looking at other ways to attract not only industry, but retail business, service industries, service type jobs. All of these communities are working together, and that is the key, I think, to the creative economy here in the Delta.
We know communities, and particularly communities in the Delta where I'm from, have always and traditionally fought amongst themselves over all kinds of things, from industrial prospects to whatever, to football games. But when I look at what's happening today, and I look at Clarksdale, Mississippi, Greenwood, Indianola, Cleveland, Greenville, other communities, we're beginning to see the value of working together.
I think we've realized that in order to move the Delta forward, we have to sell it as one place. And we're slowly creating these clusters, the Blues Museum in Clarksdale, B.B. King Museum in Indianola, the upcoming Grammy Museum here in Cleveland. And I think we're finally realizing that when you have a cluster situation, people will come here on a Monday and stay to the next Monday.
We've only begun to scratch the surface of the potential of this museum. I think we're in a gold mine situation. And I think not only is it having that short range effect of eating in the restaurants, eventually we're going to entice some people to move to Indianola, buy homes, cars, the whole works.
What we've found with Sunflower County and the B.B. King Museum is that Clarksdale has a museum, Leland has a museum, and it's all focused on the blues. So what we do is try and communicate our program and how we were able to do it and feed off of each other and get ideas so we can grow our own communities around our museums and institutions.
Viking is a hometown grown industry. Fred Carl started Viking and said that if he couldn't do it in Greenwood, he wouldn't do it anywhere else. The Alluvian Hotel began to bring people from all over the world into Greenwood. That's when we realized that we had more there to share than just cotton fields. We had the blues, we had the culinary aspect of the South and the Delta. And so people from all over the world wanted to come, and having a 5-star boutique hotel in the middle of this blues mecca didn't hurt.
When Fred Carl had the idea, many people thought it was just a crazy idea, and why would anybody want to put a hotel like this in downtown Greenwood? It was a very blighted area. And the hotel was really an example of if you build it, they will come. We opened a cooking school, we added a spa, we created a whole experience. Then we sought out other businesses to come and be a part of Howard Street.
The old downtown that had been left to deteriorate was now coming back alive. So with festivals and events that were being held downtown, people felt like they had their town back.
I think here in the Delta we finally realized that we had something going on when these Europeans and others were just coming here without any marketing whatsoever. They were writing about it, and you would see articles on the Mississippi Delta in Japan and in Europe, and those were reaching millions of people. And then all of a sudden we woke up one day and we thought, you know, maybe we do have something here we need to market and move forward. And I think that's when the light bulb went on.
I think finally people are starting to realize that tourists don't come from around the world on a pilgrimage to visit one place for one day. They come to an area and they want to spend time, and maybe 3 days or maybe 3 weeks.
The thing that I think we should do in the Delta particularly is to just look at ourselves and our communities and find out what makes us unique. People are drawn to the authentic, and they're looking for history and they're looking for culture.
There are probably more good stories in Mississippi than any other state in the Union, and we need to be about the business of telling them.
One of the great things about Mississippi, about the Delta, but really the state in total, is that each community has something that's either living or past history of significance to tourists and to outsiders that can help locals to build business and commerce.
It's important for the communities to look around and inventory their own assets. And if you stay with being authentic, telling your story in a real way, people are going to be drawn to that. But Mississippi is an amazing place we have a wealth of culture. And I just think it's time that we gather it all up, get with it, and show it to the world.
Even communities as small as Rolling Fork, population about 2,000, can develop their economies creatively by finding their stories, like the teddy bear story or the blues story. Muddy Waters, the great blues musician, was born in the Rolling Fork area. So we have a blues trail marker. We have visitors come from all over the country, all over the world, especially foreign visitors, to see the birthplace of Muddy Waters.
What's interesting is when you aren't from here and of here, all of this is just beautiful and amazing and unforgettable. The music here, again, I think locals in many ways took it for granted. They could always go see blues because it always existed. So it's something that's very different and inviting, and it's kind of like an onion. There are all these different layers to it, and you see something, you learn something, you hear something different every time.
We just started from nothing, and we didn't know once we got started, that it was going to work, but we had the goal in mind that whatever it takes to get the job done, that we was going to do it. So that it takes heart. If Joseph Woods, Peter, Sandy, and Arthur can do it, 4 brothers in a little hick town, I call it, like Mount Bayou, I say anyone can do it. But you must put your heart and mind and soul into it. Anyone can do it if we can do it.